So here's an update or a part 3 to an incredibly popular story which I covered back in November, which I know a lot of you guys saw. Title: Wife disappeared and drained our savings to find herself. I'm consulting a lawyer to keep her gone. And that story is all about the guy who's about 50 years old, married for a while, and out of nowhere his wife just disappeared. Took all their money out of the joint savings account to go find herself, and she's out there gallivanting around the world, abandoned him, the kids, and all that, and he's done. Absolutely. And behind the scenes, he's working with an attorney to divorce her, the whole 9 yards, and it's an absolute mess. And of course, she's acting like on social media like he's the greatest husband ever, supporting her, blah, blah, blah. And this guy was great during the marriage, supported her mother, who was going through a lot of hard times. This is how she repaid him. But like I said before, this guy now is handling things accordingly, and, well, she's in for a surprise in this update we're going to go through here. It says here, my wife texted me in the middle of December that she'd be home for Christmas. Oh, how nice of her. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you want to know about part 1 and 2, I'll attach a link to the description. I told her that our daughter and I, would be at my brother's. She obviously wasn't welcome. I'd leave her car in the driveway and the fob in the backyard. She wasn't allowed in the house unless I was there, and she didn't have the keys to get in. She spent Christmas with her sister. Oh, I'm sure she loved that. When we got back, I met with her. I decided not to be overly confrontational because I didn't want to give her the satisfaction of thinking I cared enough to be mad. She was taken aback about how detached I was. I could tell it bothered her that I didn't show her much emotion, not even anger. I just wanted her to agree to a divorce. See, yeah, I'm sure it was very hard not to confront her and give her hell about this, which would be warranted, but that'd give her drama, which, of course, she'd want, and he didn't do that, and she was taken aback that he wasn't giving her drama. This is a summary of several different meetings, both with and without our daughter. She hasn't wanted to meet with her mom alone yet. I asked her why she left without telling anyone. She said she didn't want to wait a year. She didn't want anyone talking her out of it. She didn't want to work anymore. She wanted to leave before her mental health got worse. I think her mental health is bad enough that she just abandoned everyone. What kind of irresponsible bullshit is that? I'm sure it was mostly because she didn't want me to stop her from taking the money. She knew I would take care of everything with the kids in the house when she left. We decided to go in the summer of 2024 for a few reasons. Packing everything and getting the house ready to sell was going to be a lot of work. We wanted to make sure our daughter graduated college, got a job, and was settled. We wanted to make sure we had money when we got back. We wouldn't have had a house, cars, or jobs, so we needed money because it could take months to find work and a place to live. We didn't want to have any worries or deal with a mess back home. At some point in our planning, she began questioning to herself, not me, if she ever wanted to go back to our old life. She didn't want to work full-time or buy a house and stay in one place after we got back. She wasn't sure she wanted, but she didn't think she would figure it out talking to me. I told her that's the reason we were taking the trip, to figure things out together, to see what we wanted for the next part of our life. Yeah, after all the things had gone on, that's what the trip was about, and figuring things out, but she figured things out on her own and figured, hey, he'll take care of everything. What a considerate girl. I asked her why she didn't just get a divorce before she left. Then she wouldn't have had to deal with this behind our backs, and she would have plenty of money without stealing our joint savings. She claims she didn't want a divorce, that she wanted us to live whatever life she figured out. I told her that's not how marriages work, one person deciding for the other. Well, in reality, that's pretty much how most marriages work, where the woman decides everything for the guy because the guys are too stupid and weak and don't stand up for themselves. So let's be honest here. And her perception of this dude obviously was that, hey, I can do whatever I want, he's not going anywhere. Which, surprise, surprise, he is. And of course she didn't bring up divorce before because obviously, she didn't care. She didn't want a divorce because she wanted to have someone to come back to afterwards. I'll take care of the bills and all that. In talking/texting our daughter, her friends, her family, my texts and voicemails, she realized I might not forgive her. She was right about that. So she might have to visualize a future without me. Yeah, again, what'd she expect to come back and everybody open arms? Welcome back from your journey, Mom. Welcome back from your journey, wife. We'll do anything you want. No, it doesn't work that way. This is where I had hoped she would say some stupid shit like she was going to squander all her money living in a van and make travel vlogs, or she met some guy that she needed to wire money to so they could open an ice cream shop in Alaska. Instead, she wanted to be a digital nomad, working part-time, fully remote, and living in new places. She tried to convince me to go with her, but I'll never be able to trust her again, plus I don't love her anymore. Yeah, that's it. She destroyed the trust. You gotta have trust in a relationship. And when it comes to men, as you guys are well aware, we value loyalty to a whole new level than your average gal does. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. I don't need to go into that, but it really is true. And there's no loyalty from her. You can't trust her, period. And I like her. I do believe that her idea was to probably go around the world and be a blogger and YouTuber and everything. Newsflash, it ain't so easy. Traveling like that for a few years doesn't sound bad, but she doesn't have a job or any work lined up. She's not in her 20s, and that way of living will get old real quick. No close friends, no family. I want her to make it work so she won't be here trying to get back in our lives. Well, bro, it's not going to work, and she will be trying to get back in your lives, guaranteed. Once you divorce and she goes off on her little venture and realizes how crappy it is and reality sets in, she'll be back. And at that point, then hopefully you can sever all ties within reason, of course. It says, number 1, how are the kids doing? Our son wouldn't even seen us the entire time she was gone away. He only responds to her with very short texts. He told me she wanted to see him, but he said he was too busy and wouldn't be able to get away. He lives in the barracks, so it's an easy excuse to avoid her. Trust me, if he wanted to see his mom in one form or another, at some point he could do it. He doesn't want to see her. My daughter stopped talking or texting with her. She's pretty upset. Her worry turned to anger when she realized her mom wasn't having a mental breakdown, but was just being selfish. If her mom was sticking around, they could probably work through it eventually. I just care that my daughter is happy, so whatever she decides, I'll support. That's a great father, because the situation was reversed, and any of you divorced guys know this. The likelihood is, if the father did what the mother did here in this story, the mother would be doing everything to turn the kid against him. But he's not doing that. Hey, I support you, whatever. Also, number 2, did she spend all the money? About half. I think she realized she needed to figure it out before she completely ran out of money. Number 3, did she sleep with anyone? Can't wait to hear this. I didn't ask because I didn't care. Asking would imply I wanted her back or it would matter. Even though I didn't ask, she claims she didn't. Not sure if she's lying or not. She might just be saying that because she doesn't want the kids to have another reason to be mad at her. I guarantee you, based on the 2,500 stories I've covered between 3 channels in the last 4 years and my life experience, I guarantee you only have barely scratched the surface as to what was going on in her big adventure. Number 4, does she feel bad for what she put us through? She claims she does, and she wishes she handled it differently. She said getting away and figuring out herself was the best for her. Again, here's the deal. If she was really going through a midlife crisis, or whatever she wants to call this, and was sincere to him and sincere to the kids, and said, I just need some time away, and they planned it out, it would have been different. He'd want to help her, and the kids would want to help her, but it would have been a better situation. Okay, even though we all know darn well that's not a good idea, but still, something could have been done. But no, she just disappeared and drained the joint savings and all that. I mean, she's a selfish a-hole. I told her she was just being selfish. When she first left, we were worried something would happen to her, and we would never see her again. She's always been very self-centered. Well, there you go. You married her that way. She stayed that way. I told her she's taking the easy route and letting everyone else handle the difficult parts. If she gets sick, kids will care for her. Goes broke, live with family. Abandon everyone, they'll forgive her. She thinks her siblings and our children will let her live with them like we let her mom live with us. I'm sure when she visualizes her future, she sees our kids there. They might not be, and definitely not in the same way they were before. Despite how it may sound, I'm actually really happy with how it all turned out. Our divorce is far from final, but we've agreed on big things. We'll sell the house, how to split the retirement and profit from the house, how to pay back the money she took, and what I spent maintaining the household. I got most of what I wanted from the settlement, and she'll soon be mostly out of my life. Well, she ain't out until she's out. And I wouldn't count your chickens until they hatch, because still she could backtrack on the terms of the divorce, something like that. At the last minute, she can start begging and pleading because she's so sorry and realize her life's going to be dog shit without you. Don't count your chickens. I won't have to pay alimony, and because she's choosing to make significantly less money than she was, I won't be forced to support her because she's making that choice. That would have been the kick in the teeth. She isn't my responsibility anymore, and I won't have to care for her if she does get sick or goes broke. Well, she is going to go broke and probably will claim some illness, whether it be physical or mental, and she'll be back begging and pleading, and you probably have to get a restraining order against her. But she'll be in your kid's life, that's a guarantee, to mooch off them. I figured I'd start dating again. Yeah, because the dating field is so wonderful. I didn't realize a 50-year-old man with children out of the house, a good job, and in decent shape would be a catch. Dude, yeah, if you take care of yourself and you don't have the kids in the house and you do well for yourself, yeah, you're a catch. That's how it works, guys. A woman 50, not so much. This guy could date chicks in the 30s, 40s, 50s, if he wanted to. I don't know why he would. Hell, even late 20s if he wanted to. He just has to be careful. He says, it's not like I'm fighting women off with a stick, but I've had a lot more interest than I expected. It's been kind of nice meeting new women. I've worked out the numbers, and I'll be doing pretty well after everything is settled, and I only have to support myself. Not where I wanted to be at 50 years old, getting divorced and using Reddit as free therapy sessions, but I'm happy now that I've been in a while. I'm even planning a little vacation of my own. P.S. Thank you to everyone who has responded and reached out. It means a lot. Well, bro, I'm glad this has been very therapeutic and helped you get through this hellish time period. These last 2 months have been hell. And a lot of bullshit with her was going on during the holidays to make things worse. And also those poor kids. You know, she's demonstrated through her actions who she really is. And he said that little line there that she's always been self-centered. So I guess it couldn't come too much of a shock to him and the kids, but I guess they never realized just how self-centered she is. Well, anyhow, I wish this guy a lot of luck, you know, and it ain't going to be over until it's over in terms of the divorce, so don't count your chickens. I just advise this guy to really be careful once he enters the dating scene, because, again, if he does well, he has his own house, does well financially, has resources, there's going to be a lot of gals out there that love to mooch off someone like this, and I just hope he doesn't attract someone just like his wife without realizing it before it's too late. I wish him well.